40% of home buyers found their real estate agent through a friend, relative, or neighbor. For first-time home buyers, that number is 51%. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use social media to capitalize on your sphere of influence so you can make those numbers work in your favor and grow as a real estate agent using social media as your primary marketing tool. And if you don't know me, my name is Jarvis. I run Jarvis Media Consolidated, which is a social media marketing company that houses real estate agents across the country. We've helped over 200 plus real estate agents across the country over the past 5 years with some of these great results shown below. And so let's jump into it right now. So for buyers, 40% of buyers found their agent through a friend, neighbor, or relative, which is a massive number, especially when you compare that to the fact that first-time home buyers, actually it's 51% found their agent through a friend, relative, or neighbor. On top of that, you also have repeat buyers. 37% of them found through a referral, and 21% of them used the same agent as before, which is based off of the National Association of Realtors. So what this shows us is that a massive amount of people looking to buy a home rely heavily on your sphere of influence to get in front of them. Why? Because there's trust there. I'm going to dive into how you build trust, of course, as well. But looking into sellers too, 66% used a referred agent or the one that they worked with in the past, again quoted from NAR. So even with sellers and with buyers, we see a massive amount of influence from people who have either worked with an agent before wanting to work with them again, or who are getting a referral from a friend, a family member, or a neighbor who has worked with an agent previously. And so what this tells us again is just that trust is the massive component here. It's not necessarily that we need to have the greatest marketing in the world. It's that we need to market to the people who already have trust and use that as influence so that we can get more business because they're more likely to refer people who are actually going to work with us, which is a massively important tool here. So moving forward with this article, which is pulled from, a lot of this information is pulled from ChatGPT, but citing the sources from NAR mostly. So most people actually hire the first agent that they contact. And this is something that I've talked a lot about, is that 81% of sellers contacted just one agent before listing. That's massive. When you think about most other industries, a lot of people end up doing what's called price shopping, right? Or they're just comparing and contrasting the different results between agents. That doesn't happen as much in real estate. That happens more so in other industries. And what that tells us is that the average buyer or seller, they view real estate agents as a commodity. So what does that mean? It means that they view our experience as something that they can get pretty much anywhere else. So they're going to so heavily weigh their decision based off of what a friend or family member did because one, it's an important decision, but two, they feel like they can get somewhat of the same results from anybody that they use. Therefore, as long as they get somebody that has worked well for somebody that they trust in the past, ergo a friend, a family member, or a neighbor, then they know that they're going to get pretty much a good result there. So that's why they're so quick to work with the first agent that they speak with. And we can use that in a lot of really important ways. Also, most buyers interviewed only one agent, notably 77% of repeat buyers, practically the first credible option that they speak with. Again, this is not something where you need to have some insane model or some insane marketing tool. We just need to, one, capitalize on our existing sphere of influence, people that we've already helped, and as well as our family and our friends and our neighbors, because those people are going to be likely to refer us to people who are going to buy very quickly. But then on top of that, buy or sell, and then on top of that, we have a great benefit because 81% of people contact one agent before they list, and 77% of repeat buyers are contacting just one agent before they end up buying. So we don't need to do anything in crazy except for capitalize on our market and the people who we already have a foothold of, we already have relationships with, and two, make sure that we're the first agent that they speak with to maximize the chances that we end up working with them. Because again, 81% of folks will work with the first agent that they end up speaking with. So how do we actually leverage social media to build that influence with our circle, our previous clients, and to get more referrals? Well, number one, we want to post more often. Not only does this have a great effect because the more often you post, that the actual better you get, but also on top of that, you just get more at-bats. You actually end up getting a lot of times people who are already in your sphere of influence, the people who are really close to you, will always end up seeing your content because it's like your friends, your family, all those people, right? Well, that's great because that is our sphere of influence. So by default, even if our post doesn't feel like it's going viral or doing amazingly, even if we're only getting like 100 or 200 views on like a video that we're putting up, those views are people who know us very well and who are going to be the best advocates for us, people most likely to refer us. But that only happens if we stay top of mind. And the more top of mind we are is directly correlated to the amount of times, the amount of impressions we have with that audience. So you also just get more at bats. The more at bats we get, again, just the more opportunities that people can actually remember us, have influence from us, and then want to recommend us to a friend or a colleague because we've done a good job of staying top of mind with them. Number two, we want to stay connected with our previous clients. Obviously, you do a great job. People loved working with you. You want to keep nurturing that relationship because they're not likely to refer you unless you are actually, again, top of mind and you feel more connected. How likely are you to refer your friend's business to somebody who might need that service versus some person that you've met one time, right? Like we actually have far more influence with people when we stay connected with them. And so we want to have that as in our back pocket as well with anybody that we've worked with because referrals and repeat business are so important. But the way you do this is important because if you just keep dinging people over and over and over again, asking them for referrals, that's not really a valuable way to keep the conversation going. That's just asking people for stuff, which doesn't really work in your favor. It probably will work against you. Instead, you need to have incentives. You need to have reasons to actually follow up. One of my favorite reasons that I've heard was basically that once you actually have helped somebody buy or sell a home, you say, oh, well, that makes you eligible for our 3-year either guarantee or 3-year service. Now, what's cool about this is you can make this whatever you want it to be, but by having some sort of a built-in package, one, you can market this and you can actually use this to help you get clients in the first place. But two, when you have some sort of 3-year guarantee or 3-year service that's built into the normal work that you would do anyway, it gives you a reason to consistently, check in with their needs, their questions, uh, recommendations, you know, even updates. And this is really cool because this has way more weight once they understand that this is part of something that's supposed to give them benefit, right? So this is great, especially with first-time home buyers who they get into a house, they're excited, it's a nervous process, they're making sure they made the right decision. You say, hey, I know this can be, kind of heavy to deal with buying a house. It's a huge asset, all this stuff. You want to make sure you did the right thing. Well, what's really nice is we offer a 3-year service, a 3-year, guarantee that you're going to end up being happy. And what we end up doing is we check in consistently to make sure that you have all your needs met. If you need any people, if you need a plumber, if you need an electrician, whatever might come up. If you have any questions about the property, how you should be renovating it if you're doing that, how you should be maintaining, doing maintenance on the property. I'll also send you recommendations about places you should go check out in the area. If you're new to the area, if you're unfamiliar, we want to show you all these cool things and all these benefits and whatnot that improve the quality of life of living here. And then also we'll give you updates. So we'll let you know about how the market's doing, how your real estate value is appreciating, all this great stuff and all this cool stuff that goes along with being a homeowner because now that you finally are one. That's a huge benefit, right? People will be excited about that. And you're framing it as, I'm not just going to check in to kind of offer my services over and over again, but instead you're saying, hey, like, this is a big thing. And a lot of agents like kind of like, say, okay, we're done now. Like, just give me my commission check. I don't want to do that. I want to actually help you beyond just the transaction and show up consistently so that you understand the benefits of the home that you're in, and you can enjoy that and have the best possible, most fulfilling home ownership experience. And so that's a benefit, and it's going to increase the open rates of your emails, and it's going to, again, just give you more reasons to build that trust with your audience, build that trust with your past clients so that you can get a referral. And what's cool is that you can send an email from every single one of these. And again, the open rate increases, which is its own benefit, but then you can always put in a little, refer me reminder at the very end. Put it in like the PS. Be like, have an actual email that's going to have high quality information doing this anyway, which you should probably be doing a lot of this stuff anyway, because again, it's just beneficial, especially when so many people use referral or use repeat agents. You want to be nurturing these leads anyway. What's cool about real estate is when they buy or sell a house, they don't stop being a potential lead. You could sell them multiple times, but then you could also remind them and hey, like refer me to a friend or family who you want to have as good of an experience as you did. And that just gives you a lot of good reasons to consistently follow up. And it doesn't just feel like it's marketing. It feels like it's actually something that they signed up for, because you say, hey, this is what makes me different. And this is why a lot of people like working with me as an agent and all of that good stuff. Number three is actually taking the relationship, which is an in-person relationship with your existing clients or your friends or family, and you're actually asking them for a follow. So this is when you're in person, and in the middle of conversation, in the middle of going through like your home tour or your first meeting or whatever it is, when you're in person, just say, oh, hey, by the way, would you mind just following me on Instagram? I'm trying to just build up my followers. It helps my business a lot. A lot of people are going to say, oh yeah, sure, like no problem. Like it's really easy. And what's really beneficial is that you can use a QR code that would actually send people directly to your Instagram or open up their Instagram app. That is going to be a lot quicker way. Like it's a lot less hassle. And you want to make sure that they do it right then and there, right? And like that's why you just want to like show them the QR code and just be like, hey, would you mind following me on Instagram? Like I'm just trying to build up my followers. It helps me out a ton. And then just like show like a QR code, because then they'd be like, oh yeah, sure, and they'll just scan it. You don't have to tell people to scan a QR code. If you point a phone at them with a QR code, they're going to point at their phone and they're going to scan it. And then it allows them to follow you right then and there, instead of being like, oh, can you follow me when you get a chance? Because they'll forget. It's not a big priority for them. But it's an easy request to make in person. And that's really great, because then one, you're obviously going to get a really, really great lead to automatically be following you, which is a huge benefit already. Two, you're also going to then get access to get them to likely share your content, especially as you go through the journey. And when you buy or sell, that's when people are going to be the happiest with you, right? The happiest with your result is right when they buy or sell and they finish that transaction, and they have a great experience. And so what's really great is that by that point, they're already following you. And what you can then do is start these share with a friend campaigns. So these are not posts that are designed to go viral, right? Posts can exist in different kind of strategies. This one is not to be like, how do I get in front of the most people possible? This is instead to leverage to a specific audience. So a great example of this is, let's say you work in Salt Lake City and you're helping, somebody with like, or you're trying to get, people to, buy or sell a home in this specific part of Salt Lake City, which is like, let's say really great for like first-time families, right? People who are just first-time parents. Then you can actually create a post that says like, hey, if you're a new mom or if you're a new dad in Salt Lake City, here's one of the best neighborhoods for you. And if you're not, share this with a friend, because it's going to be really, really beneficial for them. And then you go into talking about a town that's really beneficial, or a new neighborhood that has this amazing park that's a great for like walking your kid, or whatever it might be. But you can leverage that and ask at the beginning to share with a friend who isn't, or share with a friend who is part of the demographic you're targeting, if the person that's actually seeing your post for the first time is not. And you'd be surprised how well just asking for these things is beneficial, right? People ask on YouTube all the time to share the video, or to subscribe to the video if they find this valuable. And that works really well, which is why YouTubers do that all the time. So just asking for that up top is a really beneficial thing. And people love to share links with their friends. It's also one of the best ways on a lot of platforms to actually grow your content, because when you share a link to other people, especially if it's off platform, it brings people from outside of the platform into the platform. That is a really great way. It's a great signal for Instagram or Facebook or whatever to know that this content is really valuable, because it's pulling people in instead of just randomly showing up on their feed, which is really, really beneficial. So Yeah, you can get a QR code to get them to follow you. Then once they're following you, by the end of the transaction, hopefully they've seen your post a couple of times. Hopefully they liked it or so that they're showing up, you're showing up more commonly for them. That's also why it's so important to, of course, post more often. But you're also in the leverage position to then start talking about areas or benefits or updates or new taxes that get passed or whatever it might be. You have these updates and you ask them to share with a friend who, may be influenced by this update, right? Or maybe influenced by this market, or maybe looking to buy or sell a home, and this neighborhood is going to be perfect for them. And that's why it's specifically helpful to say share with a friend who is an expecting mother, or share with a friend who is an empty nester, or share with a friend who is looking for a retirement home, or share with a friend who is looking to downsize, whatever it might be. That is where you're going to want to leverage that actual request there. And what's great is that, again, in the journey, that person who you're working with right now, or that recent person who started following you, they might actually end up being more likely to see that because they're going to see your first posts pretty quickly. Even if you don't have great posts, like the first post they're going to probably see because they just followed you. And then you can leverage their sphere of influence as well as your own to actually get your content in front of people who are likely going to be excited to work with you, right? Or could be benefiting from that information, which is then kind of like a pseudo referral because somebody's showing you a post about a real estate agent, especially if they've worked with that agent before. They'll be like, hey, like I saw this post, like my previous agent worked with this, or who worked with us, it, like created the social media post. This is like really valuable for people who might be looking for the kind of home that you're looking for, whatever it might be. But these are all really great ways to get, great referrals and to just tap into your existing market using social media that's a little bit different from just simply trying to post viral content and just kind of get the most views. Because at the end of the day, you don't need a lot of sales to dramatically change your real estate business. And we can leverage social media in competitive ways that a lot of people aren't doing to see that growth in your business, even if it doesn't mean going viral.